This Raw Vision video is brought to you by Metro Solar, proud partner of the Richmond Football Club.
Well, he didn't like what was on the outer side, so back to the northern stand side. What a big collision. Higgins and Grimes wins the battle.
What a contest. They just both went at the footy, both eyes for the footy. They say the game isn't as rough as it used to be when players big, strong.
Yeah, I think the exciting thing was from this year, we saw some players improve. Like, it's great to see Kochi take his game to another level. It's great to see Lids, add another level to his game up forward. And might just be me personally, but from what I love to take out of this, or what I love to see this season, was the fact that we saw massive improvements in other players that we probably didn't expect it from. And Rancy is always going to be a star, and as I mentioned those other players before, they're always going to be a star. But to see someone like Leno really take a step forward, Griffo take a step forward, Ty play his best year to date, and play well. By not just, I mean, Ty, yeah, he capitalised on the scoreboard, but the other guys were just good solid performers and stuck to the game plan and played their role. And I think we won 17 games this year, lost 5, take finals out of it. That's a pretty good season. I mean, we've injected a lot of games into some young and developing players, and I think it's going to pay dividends going forward. This was the first pre-season I've completed, in my career, and I'd never probably understood the level of impact that would have on me physically. You always hear older players talk about it's just, it's time on legs, it's how many pre-seasons you've done, it's your training age, but until you actually get there and you realise the physical gains that you get from completing a whole pre-season, starting the season fresh and playing sort of 15 plus games of footy, yeah, the benefit you get for that is huge. And look, I was lucky enough to be in the side for a lot of the year and experience a lot of the success that we had throughout the year, but we had 10 other guys at VFL level that were ready to put their hand up at any moment, and I think that's been what's really exciting, being a player that's playing, but knowing that we've got, Dimmy calls them soldiers, that we've got a soldier that's ready to come in and fight the battle as soon as you go down. I love every bit of the defence, and I love being a defender. I think it's the best position on the field by far. I'm a defender, and that's what I love. That's what I love to do. And for me, it's always going to be the base level of my game is how well can I defend, and how well can I shut out the opposition players. And everything else will always build on that afterwards. And I find whenever I'm playing a poor game, it's because I've probably tried to do other things before. I'm trying to lock away my forward. But now with Ben Rutten and other guys like Alex Rance and Troy Chaplin, to be able to learn off them has been huge for my career. What works for them is not necessarily what works for every other player, but if you're able to get little bits of insight on how they play the game and how they play against the best forwards in the competition has done me a world of good.
Well, guys, there's an issue here with Dylan Grimes on the bench. He has had hamstring tendon problems in the past. I reckon he was stretching out his hammy when he came off, and he's going down the race now with the doc.
It took me a while to sort of fully believe that I wasn't an injury-prone player, and because people sort of blanket you with that term and that mindset that, oh look, you've played 8 or 9 games now, that's been your average for the last few years. Is there a grey area that you could go in or out of the side through injury in the next few weeks? And for me personally, it was great just to have a year where I didn't have to worry about injury, didn't have to invest all my time in just staying on the track. I could spend that time, instead of on injury prevention, instead of spend it on getting better and becoming a better player and a better person. And that was really refreshing, to be honest. I mean, not playing catch up, but being able to put a foot forward. My number one focus for season 2016 is to replicate that really sort of unbroken pre-season and a solid off-season and be ready to go round 1. I think every player in the AFL wants to be known as being a tough player and being physical and aggressive, and these sorts of words are probably what you see on the inside of most players' lockers in the AFL, I'd imagine. But look, for me, I look at the way that Dimmer played, I look at the way that Ben Rutten played, and I look at the way that our leaders play as well. And that physical brand of footy, I think, is ingrained in the way that Richmond play their game. And to be honest, it's not something that I've focused on and said that, look, I need to do this. But you look at every good player in the competition, and I think everyone will agree that they're physical and they're aggressive. So I think that should be a cornerstone of every developing player's game. I still feel that every year that I play football, I improve, and that's the exciting part. And I think that's probably where a lot of the Richmond players are heading at the moment. Every year is better. Every year we grow more. And yeah, as you said, 63 games. It does feel like I've been around a lot longer than that. Any success that I've achieved now is almost, as a footy player, you never really get to appreciate how far you've come or the growth that you've had. It's always you want to improve more, and that's exactly what I want to do. I want to get better. I want to play 22 games next year instead of missing a few with injury or form or whatever it is. And I want to play on the best forwards, and I really want to help out my team and help out Rancy and Chappie, who bear a lot of the load each week. And my offensive game, to be honest, is not at the level that I'd like it to be. That's probably the first thing I'd admit is that, as you said before, that I build my game around my defence. Next I want to be, I build my game around my defence still, but offensive secondly.